Continuing on with the halachot of Purim. Again, yesterday we were explaining there are four primary mitzvot on Purim day. Yesterday we discussed Mishloach Manot. Today we'll speak about Matanot LaEvyonim. So first and foremost, what is the time and what's the reason of this mitzvah? The time of the mitzvah is on Purim day. You can't, if someone gave Matanot LaEvyonim at night, it does not work. The gifts to the poor must be given out and distributed on Purim day. Halakha says you don't have to wait till Purim day to give it. On Baruch Hashem in our society, how many people here know an evyon, know someone who's poor that desperately needs money? Baruch Hashem, it's very rare, it's infrequent. Baruch Hashem, it should get less and less every year. But therefore, the halakha 100% enables us to give the money to a shaliach, to a representative, to a gabai, who will take the responsibility to give out that money on Purim day. So the money needs to be distributed on Purim day, not even night, Purim day. But we can start giving it to the agencies and the organizations that collect for the aniyim, for the evyonim, even from now, and there's no problem whatsoever. The minimum requirement is you have to give gifts to two poor people, Matanot LaEvyonim. Both of them are plural, two gifts in theory to two evyonim. Now, what's the amount of each matana? What's the minimum amount? So, officially, according to the Sephardi halacha, the minimum amount is a peruta. It's not what we know about 2 meals worth to each person. The minimum amount from the letter of the law, if someone gives a peruta, what's a peruta? Ovadia writes the lowest coin in currency. So in the US, it'd probably be a penny. Maybe it's going to come a nickel once they eliminate the penny. But according to the halacha, you give that, you fulfill the mitzvah. But the minhag and the Rambam explain that all of our expenditures on Purim day, the one we should take most sensitivity to ensure that it's the highest, is Matanot LaEvyonim. So we have Baruch Hashem, we spend on lavish seudot, we spend on Mishloach Manot, we spend on a kosher Megillah. We have to be mindful that the biggest expenditures must be on Matanot LaEvyonim. Again, not because it's halacha, but it's a hashkafa thing that it's teaching us that in us spending on ourselves, today's the day to spend on others. So although strictly speaking, a peruta is the minimum, the minhag, as Rabbi Haim explained in our community, in our circles, is at the bare minimum, $20. The calculation is in theory $10 per evyon. $10 you can get a substantial gift or meal for that ani. Now it could be either money or food, obviously, and we explained the Rambam's opinion. Now, who is obligated to give? Men and women. A husband and a wife, anyone above the age of bar bat mitzvah has this mitzvah to give. So it's very important that everyone always asks, can I give on behalf of my wife? The halakha says, yes, you may, but it's not. Don't give one $20. Since we're establishing $20 to be the minimum, give two. Again, it's not the minimum, it's the recommended amount. But if you give more, you can give more on behalf of yourself and your spouse. But women, anyone above bar mitzvah, even a husband and wife, both have an obligation to give Matanot LaEvyonim. We should obviously educate our children to give. They don't have an obligation to give per se, but our minors, it's a mitzvah of chinuch for them to give on that as well. And lastly, where was it? Correct. So lastly would just be that the halakha explains that you can't give two gifts to the same poor person. It needs to be two separate. It needs to be two individual separate people. A father can't give it to his son. A wife can't give it to his husband if they're evyonim. But it should be someone else. And there's an inyan that we should be very mindful that this is independent of Matanot LaEvyonim. When anyone who asks on Purim, the halakha says we should be giving. Usually we do due diligence, we check into them more on Purim day. We're not saying to give big sums to anyone who asks, but there's an idea that you should be giving on Purim day to make people rejoice and make them happy. Chazak Baruch Nitzkei Mitzvot.